Once, Helen Keller said, optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. So let's welcome to a brand new episode of Lord's Public School online class. So like last year, this year also, we have 80 marks of written exam. And in this 80 marks, you have to attend 20 marks of reading passage, 30 marks writing and grammar skills, 30 marks from literature. So from 30 marks of writing and grammar skills, 18 marks for writing and 12 marks for grammar. In that section, 12 marks divided into 3 parts. First part, gap filling, 4 marks question. Second part, addition or omission, 4 marks. And last part, sentence rearrangement, again 4 marks. So, for the purpose of addition and omission, we need articles. Articles are very important. So we have to learn the use of articles. So our grammar part today is articles. Articles can be mainly divided into 2. They are indefinite articles and definite article. So articles can be divided into 2. Indefinite articles. Second, definite article. Indefinite articles. First, we are going to study indefinite articles. Indefinite articles, a and. These are indefinite articles. Definite articles, the second topic, definite articles, the. So first, indefinite articles, a and. Okay. Now, first, ye, where we use indefinite article ye. You know, normally we use article a before a word beginning with a consonant sound. Before a word beginning with a consonant sound. In English alphabets, we classified them into vowels and consonants. A, E, I, O, U. These are vowels and the rest consonants. Here, remember, not alphabets, sounds. For example, a hut. A mango tree. Right? Here, H, M. Both are consonant and consonant sounds. But be careful. Words such as owl, honest, etc. Again, here the words H. H normally it's a consonant, right? But the pronunciation, we pronounce our, not hour, it is our. Our sound. Our. It's a vowel sound. Similarly, not honest, it is honest. O is a vowel sound. So we use an in both these cases. An honest, an hour. An honest, an hour. Right? So, normally article A is used before a consonant sound, and be careful, there are some words they starts with consonant letter but pronounced it as vowels. Examples: our, honest, honorable. Then air, H-E-I-R, air, H is silent, air, heiress, heirloom. Okay, in all these cases we use an air, an heiress, an heirloom, an honorable, an honest. Got it? So, A. The meaning of A in most of the case, A, and normally we use the meaning in the meaning single or one. Right? A man means only one man. A mango tree, only one tree. Right? So A means we use article A before a word beginning with a consonant sound. But there are some words beginning with a consonant letter but pronounce it as vowels. These are some exceptions. Right. Now, next one. Article and. So in the case of A, we use before a consonant sound. So symbol in the case of article and, we use before a word beginning with a vowel sound. A-E-I-O-U, vowel sound. Remember, not vowels, vowel sound. Example: an aeroplane, an ice cream. Simple. Normally vowels are here. A, I. An aeroplane, an ice cream. But remember, just like there in the article A, here also some exceptions are there. Words such as European, Union, University, Uniform, one night, one way, etc. So many words are there. Like in this case, the word begin with a vowel E, U, O, etc. But the sound is consonant. European, ya sound. Why? Union again, same. University, uniform, same. One-eyed, verse sound, wa. One way, same. So, the problem, these words begin with a vowel letter. A vowel. But pronounce it as consonant. So, we use a European, a Union, a University, a Uniform, a one-eyed man, a one. Right? So, A is used before a consonant sound and is used before a vowel sound. Exceptions we said. Similarly, words like MP, MLA, NCC, HSA, X-ray, all these words, normally these words begin with a consonant, but pronunciation is vowel, a vowel sound. So, an MP, an MLA, an NCC, an HSA, an X-ray, in all these cases we use. Okay, these are exceptions. And one more thing, some of you have doubt about these words. Which are the articles? Year and year. You know, the first one is year. Year. Ya sound is there. Ya. Right. Second is year. Flat E sound. So first one is a year. For example, I met him a year ago. A year. Second one is an year or year. During the battle, he lost an year. Got it? A year and year. Hope you understand? Yes. So, articles, indefinite articles, a and. A is used before a word beginning with a consonant. Consonant sound. and is used before a word beginning with a vowel sound. And the exceptions we have discussed already. So many words are there. Don't get confused. These are the exceptions. You can easily find out. And one more trick to find out such words. Actually, this is very simple. You can use it like here. European. Suppose we write European. How do we write European in Malayalam? It is European. Yeah. Yeah is a consonant. Right? Similarly, union, university. And here, one-eyed wa. It's a consonant. Sadaksharam. One way. And also here, MP, A. So, Swaraksharama. MLA, NCC, HSA, X-ray. Right? Here also, here, ya sound, here. Flat E, here. So, in these tricks or like this also we can find out the answer. We can find out the article. Suppose you write the word in Malayalam, in English pronunciation the word you can write it in Malayalam. First comes the vowel or swaraksharam, we can easily write and if vyajanaksharam or consonant came there, we can use the consonant. This is a silly trick. So I hope you got what I said. Okay, so that is what is indefinite. Right? So many examples are there. I saw a man. He was an MP. Right? So I saw dash man. He was dash MP. So man. It's a consonant sound. Man. Ma. And sound. So a man. MP is a. So an MP. Hope you understand. So this is what is indefinite articles. It's a simple one. A and means single, only one. An apple means only one apple. A man, only one man. Clear? So our next topic, definite article, the. It's a very, very important part. Definite article, the. Definite article, the. There are different cases to use definite articles, the. First one, we use article the before something that we have already known or already mentioned. We have already known or already mentioned. Already known or mentioned. For example, I saw dash man. Dash man was so handsome. So two dashes are here. I saw dash man. So we already studied. If suppose a consonant sound comes, we use article A. So I saw a man. A. Now, according to the first point, already known or already mentioned. We have already mentioned or already known that person, that man. I saw a man. So we are going to say something about the very same man. So in the second dash, we use article the. The man was so handsome. So here, article the. The man was so handsome. Got it? So Article the is used before something we have already known or already mentioned. Example, I saw a man, the man was so handsome. Or like that, I ordered a tea. The tea was too hot. Okay. So we have already mentioned that tea. That's why in the second case we use the tea. The tea was too hot. Clear? Now, the second case. Second case. Definite article the is used before a particular person or thing. For a particular person or thing. For example, this is dash book that I bought yesterday. Yep. This is dash book that I bought yesterday. So it's about a particular book. So we have to use article the, not a. Article the is correct. This is the book that I bought yesterday. It's a particular one. Or this is the man whom I met yesterday. So that is point number 2. Now the third point. Dash cow is a domestic animal. Here a singular noun cow comes, right? A cow, no, it's wrong, because this singular noun cow represents the whole class or that whole family of cows. That's why a singular noun suppose represents a whole class or group. We use article the. So the answer, the cow is a domestic animal. Cow is a domestic. Or the blue whale is a mammal. A blue whale is wrong. The blue whale is a mammal. So a whole class or group or family. Use article the. So 3 cases we have already discussed. The first one, article the is used before something that we have already known or already mentioned. Second point, the is used before a particular person or thing. Third one, a singular noun represents a whole class or group or family. We use article the. Here, point number 4. Objects that are only one of their kind, objects only one of their kind, that is being known to exist in the universe. We use article the. So before objects, only one of their kind is being known to exist in the universe. For example, the sun, the earth, the sky, the moon, all these are examples. Objects of only one of their kind is being known to exist in this universe. We use article the. Clear? Next is a group of points, but we are writing that a single point as a single point. Okay? Article the is used, remember, before the names of rivers, oceans, seas, islands, deserts, girls, group of countries, then holy books, newspapers, etc. So, once more, articles, definite article the is used before the names of rivers, seas, oceans, islands, deserts, girls, group of countries, holy books, regions, names of newspapers, etc. Remember, mountain ranges. or the names of mountains. Suppose, for example, the Everest. So the examples are the rivers, the Ganges, the Nile, the ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea, the Sahara, then the Gulf of Mexico, the Telangana, the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the Ramayana, then classics, the Iliad, the Odyssey, then mountain, the Everest, then group of countries, remember the United States of America, the UK, that means United Kingdom, the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, then the Netherlands, then the West Indies. But remember, all these are group of countries or islands. So only in that case we use article the. But America, not the America. America is correct. Suppose you say dash USA, the USA, or dash United States, the United States. But dash America, no article is needed. America. Clear? Similarly, India, not the India. Pakistan, Sri Lanka, etc. Got it? So before the names of rivers, oceans, seas, islands, deserts, gulfs, regions, holy books, classics, group of islands, mountains, all these we use article. Clear? Then point number 6. Definite article the is used before superlatives. You know, positive, comparative, superlative, degrees of comparison. For example, great, positive degree, greater, comparative degree, greatest, superlative. Good, better, best, tall, taller, tallest, bad, worst. So here, superlative, before superlative degree, we use article the. Superlative degree, we use article the. For example, he is the best batsman in our team. He is the best batsman in our team. The best, the greatest, the tallest, the longest. Clear? The best. Then, next step. Definite article the is used before directions like east, west, north, south, northeast, northwest, just like that. So before directions. For example, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So the east, the west. Clear? Next step. Article the is used before positions indicating first, second, third, just like that. The first, he is the first. She is the last. Just like that. First, second, third, last, just like that. We use article the before those. Clear? Positions. Right? Then, definite article the is used before the names of newspapers. I hope you have already said the names of newspapers, holy books, classics. For example, the Hindu, the New Indian Express, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Iliad, the Odyssey. Clear? So next, definite article the is used before. This point is very important because we use article the before the names of musical instruments only after the verbs play like. For example, he plays the violin. One more. I like the guitar. This point is a vital point because after the verbs play like and then a name of a musical instrument comes, we use article the before that musical instrument. Similarly, he plays the violin. But suppose he plays football, no article needed. And then I like the guitar. I like dancing. Right? So only in the case of musical instruments that comes after the verbs such as play, like. Very important. Play, verbs after play, like. The name of a musical instrument is there. We use article the. He plays the violin. I like the harmonium. He plays the guitar. Hope you understand. They play volleyball. No, they play the volleyball is wrong. They play volleyball because it's not a musical instrument. This is an important point. Clear? Yes. Now, once more. Fourth point. Objects, only one of their kind, being non-fixed in the universe. For example, the sun, the moon, the sky, the earth, etc. Next is a group of points. Before the names of rivers, oceans, seas, islands, deserts, group of countries, regions, holy books, etc. We use article the before. Then next point, before superlative degree, we use article the. Example, the best, the greatest, the longest, the tallest. Then before directions like east, west, the east, the west, the south. Then positions indicating just like that, the first, the last, the second, etc. Next, after the verb play like. Then the name of a musical instrument comes, we use article the. He plays the violin, I like the harmonium. Okay? Point number 10. Two examples are here. First one, he is a rich man. They are rich. Then second is, the rich lives lavishly. They are rich. In the first case, rich is used as an adjective to modify the noun, that man. Not an ordinary man, he is a rich man. So, the thing that modifies the noun is known as an adjective. So, rich is used as an adjective. But in this case, it's only about a man, a single person. That's why you use article A. But in the second case, the rich lives lavishly. Here we use the before an adjective. Article the comes before an adjective, that means the all people in that category. Here the rich means all rich people. Suppose the poor means all poor people. So an article, especially an article the, comes before an adjective, that means the all people or the all persons in that group. Clear? Yes. Next point number 1. Normally, we never use articles before a name. But sometimes we use article the before such names such as the Johns, the Guptas, just like that. Here it represents their family. It's a family name. For example, he is from the Johns means he is one among the members of Jones family. Or he is from the Guptas means Gupta family. In that case, we use article the before it, before the plural of a noun. Clear? Yes. And now comes to the last point of the uses of definite article before titles. For example, the President of India, the Prime Minister, the Queen of England, the Secretary, the Convener, etc. So, article the is used before titles. But remember one thing, very important. Suppose after the title his personal name comes, don't use articles. The Prime Minister of India is correct, but after Prime Minister Narendra Modi is there, don't use article the. The Prime Minister of India is correct, but the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is wrong. In that sentence, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, that is the correct use. Hope you understand. So, definite article the is used. First point, before something we have already known or already mentioned. Second point, before a particular person or thing. Third one, before a singular noun that represents a whole class, family or group. Point number 4, definite article the is used before objects that are being known. Only one of their kind exists in this universe. Point number 5, before the names of rivers, oceans, then islands, newspapers, group of countries, etc., etc. We have already discussed. Point number 6, before directions such as east, west, north, south. Point number 7, positions like the first, second, the last, etc. Then before superlatives, the greatest, the tallest, the longest. Then we use article the before the names of musical instruments comes after verbs like play, like. For example, he plays the violin, I like the harmonium. Then, before an adjective, if you use article the, which means all group or all members in that group. Then next point, article the is used before certain nouns, which means a member or someone who is related to that family. For example, the Guptas, the Johns, etc. And comes to the last point, that is what is definite article the is used before titles. For example, the Prime Minister, the President, the Queen, the King, etc. But remember, after the title his personal name comes, don't use articles. Example, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Hope you understand? And that's all. The use of articles, especially definite articles. Definite article the, then indefinite article, articles a and. So these are the uses, and omission of article we will discuss in the next class. I hope all of you understand what I said. And before winding up the class, I want to tell you something. You know, in English, there are so many words and phrases, idioms. But how many of you have known that there are some interesting stories behind the origin of these words? Today, I am going to tell you such an incident. Have you heard about the phrase, caught red-handed? Caught red-handed. Caught red-handed means to be caught in the act of doing something wrong. To be caught in the act of doing something wrong. Which means in Malayalam we say, Kaiyoda pidikkapedu. Right? Caught red-handed is an important phrase in English. Normally we use such a phrase. You know the story behind this. Dating back to Scotland in 1432. This term refers to an Old English law that sought the punishment of any person who butchering means slaughtering, killing, who butchered an animal that wasn't his own, not his animal. Suppose he killed or he butchered an animal, then the punishment awaits for such person. In order to be convicted, he had to be caught with the animal's blood on his hand, still on his hand. You know, suppose if he has to be convicted, he had to be caught with that animal's blood still on his hand. That was the custom, or that was the law enforced there in Scotland in 1432. That's why caught red-handed. Red means that hand was covered with the blood. So caught red-handed, which means to be caught in the act of doing something wrong. Clear? So that's the story behind this phrase. So thank you and have a nice day.